Every country has its defense forces. And carefully, the ministries are described as Ministry of Defense, and we call them defense forces, to give the message that these forces are not meant for aggression, rather they are for defending our borders, our security and our integrity. But the fact is that with the sole exception of India, every powerful country in the past worth its name has committed aggressions. And those aggressions are still continuing. India is the only, I would say here, instead of using the word country, I would say India is the only civilization, only culture, mostly because of its civilizational and cultural legacy and the belief system which came to us as a result of that, where we saw in each human being extension of our own self. We saw divinity in mankind. The great prophet of Indian Renaissance, Swami Vivekananda, he said, my mission can be explained in very simple words. I want to teach unto mankind their divinity and its manifestation in all movements of life. Now, if we consider these things with seriousness, then we come to know that one of the greatest Indian ideal has been how to live my life. Then one of the greatest ideal is abhay, fearlessness. To the extent that in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna, Yasman nodvi jate loko lokan nodvi jate chaya harsho marsh bhayo degor mukte ya sa cha me priya. I love one who never tries to scare anybody, frighten anybody, nor is he fearful of anybody. And such a person is free from harshomarsh. If there are good circumstances, he does not feel unduly elated. If there are difficult circumstances, then he does not feel depressed. Such a person is very dear to me. What is the moral? Moral is fearlessness. How to ensure fearlessness? If you have this lurking fear in your mind that you can be attacked any time from outside. So our defense forces are response to create an environment of fearlessness. We are able to sleep peacefully in the night because, and they have taken, this duty has not been imposed on them. They have taken it voluntarily, knowingly, the risks which are involved. But they spend sleepless nights in places where even during the summer here, the temperature is less than, it goes to minus 32 to 40. And they spent sleepless nights in the deserts, where even in the night it's so hot. And they have taken it upon themselves willingly. So we are eternally grateful to them. And we know that providing security does not mean merely providing physical security. Ours is an ancient civilization. There have been many ancient civilizations, but today the countries which nurtured those civilizations have no living connect with their old values and ideals. Indian civilization is distinct in the sense that it is continuous. The same ideals and values which enthralled Indians few thousand years back, they continue to inspire the Indians even today. Same values, same ideals. And that is why we call them eternal values. Sanatan is the name. Sanatan is for eternal. Something which is not subject to change. If you jump from a height of 500 meters today, somebody tries to jump, he will break his bones. And so was the case 10,000 years back. Eternal values. So it's not only a question of providing, what you are doing is not only providing physical security to us. You are also protecting our way of life, which is based on these eternal values and ideals. And that is why you are so important to us, why we are beholden to you. That atmosphere, environment of fearlessness, we can pursue our professions, our vocations, our callings, because we know that you are there on the border, and you are not only there on the border. Whenever any natural calamity hits us, anywhere in the country, you are the first to reach there. It's with your assistance that our civil administration provides relief, rehabilitates people who are affected. And the place where you are holding this seminar, for all practical purposes, this region was the capital of India for long period of time. We can only imagine. Last night I was, last few days I have been very busy, so late evening I came back, and I was going through only to check, see, Bihar Through Ages, a book which was compiled few decades back by Shri R.R. Divakar, who was governor of Bihar, only to know the history. It's a comprehensive book. It deals with every subject. But I wanted to know about the military history of this region. So actually, today we have this Kent. Apart from this Kent, there are other Kents also in Bihar. This is the only one. But sometime in the past, the military, the forces of two great empires, they were stationed here. And then we have the history. I was just now seeing this paper, which a small souvenir which has been released today. You have mentioned many names. People who have contributed a great deal. And they have provided not only services, but when occasion arose, they did not hesitate to lay down their lives. One more point I would like to make, that definitely it is the defense forces who create for us the environment of fearlessness. But they also need something to inspire them, because they are there. They are facing the bullets directly. What makes them fearless? That they are ready to lay down their lives. Undoubtedly, it is their patriotism, their commitment to their motherland, sense of duty. All these things are there. But we have something in our cultural heritage also. Sometimes we may be aware of it. Sometimes we may not be aware of it. It may be part of our conscious thinking. Sometimes it may be in our subconscious. But it is there. In order to create an atmosphere of fearlessness, now imagine, large armies are standing facing each other. The commander of one of the army develops timidity, confusion. His mind is gripped by confusion and fear, and he sees that those with whom he is going to be engaged in fight, which means killing them or being killed by them, they are close relatives. Among them is the guru. Among them is the grandfather. And he drops his arms. Arjun. Then Bhagwan Krishna gives him, it's a long discourse of more than 700 shlokas in Gita. And after telling him, after enlightening him, finally he says, Yaj gyatva na puna moham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutani asheshena dirakshyasi atmani athomai. This knowledge of the self which I have given you, if you really internalize it, then you will never become victim of delusion. And the essence of this teaching is that a person who has this knowledge, he looks at everybody as extension of his own self. Atmani, he sees himself in that person. Athomai, and he sees that person in me. What does that mean? Last time when I was here, I had quoted that, and I'm going to repeat it because I think that is of great value and importance. That if I have to see everybody as extension of my own self, how can I fight against that person? The theory of non-violence which India has developed in ancient times is one of the most sophisticated philosophy. Various schools, philosophical schools of India. Then non-violence, which means ahimsa, it does not stop you from using weapons. What it prescribes is renunciation of hatred. When I see somebody as extension of my own self, it means I have no sense of enmity, no hatred for anybody. But it does not mean that the person is bent on committing aggression, I should tolerate it. No. Rather, our heritage tells us it prescribes the acquisition of all kind of knowledge. That is soft power, which shapes your way of life. This is how we live our lives. But at the same time, you should be armed with weapons so that you can not only protect yourself, you can also protect your way of life. Agrta chatro veda prashta sasharam dhanu idam brahmam idam shastram idam brahmam idam chatram Shastradapi, Shastradapi. First, to defend yourself, to protect your way of life, use the power of logic, the soft power. But if the aggressor is not ready to listen to reason, and only believes in the logic of power, then you must be adequately prepared to meet such challenges. First Shastra and then Shastra. You are our Shastra. You are there to deal with those who do not believe in the power of logic. They only know logic of power. And I am sure that you will forgive me for not speaking much about the legacy of this area. You know very well. I have only recently taken over, and I am trying to become familiar with the great traditions of this region. But whatever I have learned is, so far I have learned is that this area, Bihar, Jharkhand, these were the seeds of the great empires of India. Large armies were stationed here. And this area has a great golden heritage because so many youngsters are there. Therefore, I would especially appeal to them to become more aware and more familiar with this heritage. And every society, every civilization goes through this cycle of rise and fall. We should again try to become once again aware of this great heritage and do our best to revive it. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Dhanyavad. Jai Hind.